I think I have an interesting perspective on Seattle because I actually grew up in a suburb 45 minutes away from Seattle. But once I turned 18 and graduated high school, I was so sick of the rain. I had dreams of moving to California. So I spent 4 years in Southern California around Los Angeles, and it was super fun until it wasn't anymore. And I was sick of the congestion, sick of the state income tax, sick of the superficial feeling around me. And I really missed Seattle, but I was definitely nervous to leave a sunny state, come back to Washington. I was afraid, is the rain gonna get to me? Would it be hard to make friends? Is it gonna be boring? I had all these reservations, but once I moved, I did not look back. I've been back for 7 years now. So with that, I wanted to talk about 7 things I wish I knew before moving back to Seattle. Number 1 thing I wish I knew before moving back to Seattle is that the Seattle freeze thaws. Here's the thing, it is seasonal. When it's rainy every day and our days are much shorter, our days in the winter are actually about an hour shorter than in California. It gets dark at like 4 p.m. Whereas when I lived in California, it would still be light out till like 5 or 6 p.m. So our days are much shorter, and with that, people just don't want to go places. They hibernate, they stay indoors. They have this good intent, like they want to hang out with you. And then I swear, in the winter, in the rain, in the cold, those plans you had, you canceled them last minute. But let me tell you, in the spring and summer, people are out and about. People are so excited to go places. And I did find when I first moved, I very quickly made friends. I've made new friends every year that I've lived in Seattle. I think a lot of this has to do with there are a lot of transplants here now, and there's a lot of people in the same shoes as you where they don't have a huge network of people they grew up with here. And honestly, like, I grew up here and all of my network of friends that I grew up with, they have all moved away. So I'm constantly looking to make new friends too, but it's something that I tend to do and really have time to cultivate those relationships and the energy for it in the spring and summer. Number 2, this surprised me the most out of all the things that I will list today, and that is Seattle is not cheaper. Seattle is so expensive. You feel it in the rent. Like a nice 2-bedroom is gonna be $5,000. A nice 1-bedroom is gonna be $3,000 something. Buying a nice single family house is gonna be over $1 million. But you also feel it just in food and drinks. Anywhere you go for lunch, like getting a sandwich somewhere, I swear it's like $15. Even Subway and Taco Bell is more expensive here. Where I notice it the most is drinks. Drinks are like New York prices, and it blows my mind. A latte, it'll be $7, and then I'll tip $1 because I feel like I have to. And then suddenly I'm like, I spent $8 on a 12-ounce latte. Number 3, while Seattle is beautiful and there's water and trees everywhere, and that's great, it doesn't really have its own style in terms of architecture, and it doesn't have its signature thing as a city, I guess, besides the Space Needle. When you look at New York, you think of brownstones. When you look at San Francisco, you think of Victorian homes. When you look at Los Angeles, you've got Hollywood Regency. It's like a little silly thing, but I just wish we had our own signature like architectural style, but we don't really. We just have a blend of all the other cities. Number 4, if you weren't aware, Seattle actually has kind of a sister city called Bellevue. And Bellevue is its own built-up city with its own politics, its whole own police department. It's completely separate from Seattle, but they're only 20 minutes away. Growing up, Seattle was always cooler than Bellevue. But once I came back, it's like things totally flip-flopped, and suddenly Bellevue is the cool place to be. Bellevue decided that they weren't gonna do what Seattle was doing. Like, these cities just operate completely differently, and it's important to know that they have their differences. And Bellevue became more expensive, and it's kind of become more of the sought-after place to be. The schools are nicer, the streets are cleaner, people just feel safer there. It's where the more wealthy people have flocked, because Seattle has obviously had its issues with crime and drugs and all that stuff that cities go through when they grow so quickly. Bellevue just decided, hey, you can come over here. I think both are totally fine places. I don't know what is up with it though. Like, the cities do not get along, and people in Seattle look at people that live in Bellevue and are like, oh, you live in Bellevue? And then people in Bellevue look at people that live in Seattle and they're like, oh, you live in Seattle. They're both great cities, totally different feels. Number 5, driving here is gonna be a lot easier than driving somewhere like LA or San Francisco. Driving there, people are very aggressive. There's more traffic, I believe, but driving in Seattle has its own set of problems. Drivers are bad drivers not because they're aggressive, because they're dumb. It is a universal thing. If you're in the farthest left lane, you drive a little faster than the other lanes. And there will be so many drivers in Seattle that'll get into the left lane and just drive so slow. I think everyone thinks they're a better driver than they are, but apparently there was a study done and people in Seattle, more than other cities, think they're better drivers than they are. Number 6, it is so much harder to eat healthier in Seattle. One, when it's dreary, the weather, like, it makes you crave hotter foods, and hotter foods tend to be unhealthier. Like, you want a grilled cheese or pizza or just like comforting comfort food, right? And also, I feel there is a lack of good fast casual food in Seattle. So we do have some chains like Homegrown and Evergreens, and those are gonna be fast casual, like salad sandwich options, but I don't like them. You know, you come from somewhere like LA or San Francisco, they're a little bigger of cities where you've got more of those national chains like Sweetgreen. Seattle does not have a Sweetgreen, and I just wish it did, because I think Sweetgreen is better than Evergreens. And the last thing you should know is Seattle is an extremely casual city. You can go to one of the nicest steakhouse in Seattle and you will see people dressed up so nice for a big event like their anniversary or their retirement party, and just right next to you, you'll see someone in sweats and a sweatshirt also enjoying a meal, and it's allowed. It's allowed here. I'll walk around the city in sweats and I don't care, and no one else cares either. People are just so casual here. Actually, like, if you dress up and look cute and wear like trendy clothes, you're the outlier and you might feel overdressed and awkward. So if you're someone that loves fashion, you're going to not like Seattle, because we don't even have luxury stores. Like, we used to have a Gucci store, stuff like that, and it actually closed down because people weren't buying from it enough. Now, if you go over to Bellevue, you've got this big Bellevue Square Mall, you've got the Bravern with luxury shopping. People care a lot more about their looks and appearance and their clothing across the pond in Bellevue. In Seattle, people do not care. So those are 7 kind of random things that I wish I just knew before I moved back to Seattle. I hope this helped you. If you are looking to move to Seattle and buy property or sell property and you need help with that, I help a lot of people relocating all across the country. I'll have my email below. That's the best way to get in contact with me. If you're looking to binge more Seattle content, I'll have a playlist below. You can click anywhere right now to watch more of my videos. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.